Hey, it's Mr. Curious. I'm here to showcase some new stuff that I've been working on that will be seen in the Resident Evil Remix project. Right now I'm just in a testing room that I've created that has different events set up to test cameras and effects and different enemy triggers, and so I'm going to show you a couple of those here. There's been quite a few developments. I've been working with a very talented engineer who's helped reverse engineer many of the game's functions, and which has allowed me to pull stuff off that I would not be able to do otherwise. And so these are edits to the EXE, and there'll be no DLL whatsoever with this release. It's going to be just hard-coded functions. So for example, here's an effect I created. It's just an effect model that moves, but now we can trigger effects with ETS. So you can see how this will be fun in game, just to move things. I can operate door levers. And now these exist in the game already, but not in the way that I have created them. And so I can place these in any room, anytime, anywhere. I've also discovered how to trigger cameras with switches and trigger different effects as those cameras move through different scenarios. So that's going to make things very cinematic. Here's another example of a door. This one moves sideways, and you can see how that gets activated by being in the area, but also with the switch. I recently just showed a video of being able to turn off and on special lights, so that's another functionality that's been added. I've also added some custom ETM models with custom effects in them. Another part of this game I wanted to show you is the gas mask. I don't know if I've got one in this room, so I might have to start over, or I'll show you guys that in a bit. So anyway, another functionality here is that there is no more melee in the game, and to get melee activated we need to use these things called plasmids. The perception plasmid is a different one, but the melee plasmid allows melee to be used. So essentially you combine the plasmids with these syringes. So you would just go like that and drop it on there, and then examine that. So now it's a hypo. So we can actually go and use it, and now melee is enabled. By default it's turned off. So I can essentially I'll let it run out. I think it runs for about a minute or 30 seconds. But if I just reload the room, you'll see that when I attack this guy, there's no melee, there's no prompt, there's nothing. So the other plasmid there is the perception plasmid. It gives you the perception hypo, an injectable plasmid which temporarily evokes a slower perception of time. So let's use that. So everybody's kind of slow-mo. It's like Neo in the Matrix, right? And those can be combined as well with, like, you could use the melee hypo and But it's essentially only the enemies that are slowed down. Everything else is normal. And so yeah, this testing room, I've made some really fun scenarios here. So now we have the ability to spawn enemies out of any ETM object. So for example, there I just spawned a bomb out of that. Here's another guy. So there's a lot of interesting possibilities. Another thing is checkpoints. So we can set a checkpoint, and when I retry, it will be from this checkpoint. So there'll be those in strategic areas of the game. I've made some new sort of scenarios where you get hurt, and the animations that you get hurt by are different. And so, for example, this force field sort of knocks you back, and it also kills you. Before you couldn't, there was no way to kill yourself with an AEV, but we've managed to set something up. And these are all toggleable, by the way. I can turn them off and on with switches and make it so that breakable items turn things off and on. So there's going to be a lot of new scenarios with traps and being able to set traps for enemies or eluding traps yourself. Here's an example of a trap for an enemy. So let's trap this dude. So he's stuck up in there, and there you go. Now he's free. Now, some other interesting things. So yeah, like I said, you can spawn enemies out of these ETM things. So now I've got some custom sort of things going on here. Yeah, and so triggering different effects. I showed you guys, so you can, turn off lights and things. Very fun. And cameras. I don't know if I showed you in this video already. But yeah, this whole testing area has been really, really good for me to just set up different scenarios. So now I can set up cameras to be triggered by ETS and AEV and multiple cameras in a row. So things are going to be a lot more cinematic. Made some custom ETM. And also there's this this new thing called the spores. The spores are deadly. Don't walk in there. You'll see an effect overlay that shows a Biohazard logo in the corner. That means you are being poisoned and that you are likely going to die if you don't get out of there quickly or equip a gas mask. And so I'm going to jump to a stage and show you guys the gas mask, because I don't have one in here right now. Deadly. Deadly spores. So the game is going to have certain areas that have spores, and you will be challenged to navigate through those in different ways, and one of which is to be wearing a gas mask. Now if you see here that I've got a debug menu, I do not have a fully working debug. This is a debug that was activated by the RE4 Tweaks guys, eMoose and his partners. So right now I'm just using that to jump around. I'm going to show you next the gas mask here. And here's, I'm still working on this room. This is another room where I've got custom doors kind of set up. So when I shoot these things, the spores are going to show up over there. That's a bit of a spoiler because most people just think they showed up somehow, but this is how they're being triggered. There's also some new enemies, I think, that got triggered by that. Yeah, see, this guy showed up. Somebody was talking about the this gun being too big, so I reduced the size of that. You also might notice in my inventory that the numbers are transparent instead of over black backgrounds. That's something that Albert recently helped me with that I've been bugging him for a long time. So it's a simple edit to one of the UWF files. Looks a lot cleaner, and you can see my screen is actually pretty crispy. Like the graphics, there's no more blur in the game, and that's also from those RE4 tweaks, guys. Like it's just gorgeous how things look now. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys the gas mask here. There's the filters, and there's the gas mask. So same thing as the plasmids, like you got to combine stuff. So this is just the mask. So you need to basically drop a filter on there, and then it becomes a gas mask with a filter, and then you use it, and you can see that it's equipped on the player. And once it's equipped, you'll be able to walk through these spores. So you'll be able to go through here. I'll show you some more room with spores in it. This is sort of like a chamber where they're really emanating from hardcore. So you can see that the gas mask has timed out, and that means that I need to put another filter on. And if you go back to the inventory, the gas mask with filter is gone, and that you'll need to combine that again. So it's very short-lived. Okay, so I've got it again. So now I'm free to like go walk around in these spores. And you can see the Biohazard Overlay is not there in the corner. And that's because I've equipped the mask. So I'm going to let this thing run out, and then I'll show you what it looks like again when you walk through them without the gas mask. Here we go. Oh, the Biohazard Overlay isn't there. It should be there. I can fix that. But usually when you walk through these things, there will be a Biohazard Overlay. And so I should have the mask again. It remembers it from your last checkpoint where you came in. And the spores aren't just going to always be floating around. Sometimes they will come out of other things like ETM items that you break in the game. I might even have enemies that blow spores out of them. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. I'm sort of walking through the game backwards here, so some of this isn't going to make sense. Like this door, and this guy crushed by the door. This guy's supposed to be moving. Anyway, shit, I don't know how I'm going to get through here. Oh, good. A lot of the sound issues in this game I've been able to fix with the help of this engineer. Like normally there's no glass breaking sound in this room, but I've been able to fix all my ETM sounds. And so I did just see the biohazard thing there for a second. Anyway, let's check this out. So here's another example of the spores. Oh geez, anyway, the biohazard thing isn't there, but it'll be there when you guys get this released. I'm not sure why that's not showing up right now. But in any case, you can see that the spores kind of mess you up, and I've been able to put timers on AEV events. So like for example, the damage that comes from this is only temporary. So there's been so much functionality added to the game. And again, if I had the gas mask on when I did this, I'd be alright. And if any of you are wondering where this animation comes from, it's from a ganado in R10C. It's like the first time we see the plug, I think. So let's equip a gas mask. And then we can shoot that stuff out and there's no problem. So you'll be collecting gas masks. Look at these nasty little critters. Oh, got that idea from Infernal. I've added a lot of custom. Items that you go looking for. So you'll recognize probably nothing. I think all the objects and keys that you need to get are from the original game and totally new ones that I've made. So yeah, that's it for now. I'm gonna go fix some stuff now. I've always got stuff to fix in this game. There's that Biohazard Overlay. That's what you'll see every time you walk through the spores. Oh, another thing, I totally forgot. Chris can now catch fire. So, in this scenario, there's an invisible thing that you shoot, and it'll set you on fire. So if you're in this area and you shoot anything, you're gonna catch fire. Oh shit. And that goes for enemies too. They will also catch fire. And you will also die. His face was not supposed to melt off there. That's only for the spores. But anyway, I guess your face could melt off if you were in a fire. God forbid. Let's get these guys over here. Come on guys, let's go burn. So in this testing area, I've got all these different camera things, and I do plan to release this testing room as like a sort of a base that people can use to make their own stuff. Like they can just take these camera. Everything's labeled. All the AEV events, so I'll be providing files with this, so you'll be able to know what's going on here. All right, let's get this party started. See, everybody's on fire. And I've made the fire effects. So when you use the flamethrower on enemies, they will. Well, this guy's invincible. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I made new fire effects for the flamethrower for when enemies catch fire. Basically ported them from this one room. It's just fucking crazy. Like, look at this shit, dude. There's like a heat effect. There's sparks. There's black smoke. And they get up and they're still on fire and they're still coming at you, dude. It's so sick. Look at that. Lovely, dude. Look at him. That's just awesome. So yeah, dude, this game has a lot more functionality and fun in it. So everyone's like asking, why is it taking so long? Why is, when are you gonna put this out? Like, I don't know when this is coming out. I'm busy, dude. I'm making crazy shit like this, like force fields that fucking blow you back and the ability to catch fire. And I'm not doing it alone. I'm getting a lot of help from people. Like I said, I've got an engineer friend, and I've had people helping me with animations and other people helping me with events. So I'm constantly learning and building, and it's been fun, dude. It's been a lot of work, though. A lot of work. So I think we're going on 4 years now. Anyway, that's enough for me from the update. I wonder if there's a special room I could show you before we go. I don't want to like spoil too much because there's like, I guess yeah, I'll just leave it here. Is there a room in the mansion you guys didn't see? Yeah, no, I know where I'll show you. Oh, that's it. There's my games crashed. Anyway, that's enough for now. Take care, friends.